My name is Beatrice, you can call me Bee, and welcome to my new project where I am sewing my way to sustainability. In this series, I'm going to take you along on my journey where I figure out how I can clean out my wardrobe and make more mindful choices when it comes to my clothing. I've decided to get rid of anything that I don't wear, anything that doesn't make me feel good, anything doesn't fit me, or anything that's not made of natural materials. There are 6 main reasons that motivate me to start this project, and before we start I would like to share those with you. Number 1 is my hormone health. For a while now I've been struggling with my hormones and all the symptoms that come with that. I've been looking at my diet, my movement. Another big step now is to make sure that there's no harmful fragrances around me, which means I've stepped over to more natural cleaning materials. I'm mindful of the makeup I wear and the products I put in my hair, and for me a next step could be my clothing. So that's why I don't want my biggest organ, being my skin, to be exposed to these plastic materials all day long. I don't like the idea of wearing material that doesn't breathe and kind of traps heat in spaces that I don't need it to be. My second reason is I would love to have a wardrobe that makes me feel good. I want to walk up to my clothes and be able to choose any garment and it would make me feel good. And at the moment I'm holding on to clothing that I never wear and I know doesn't really suit me or doesn't really flatter my body, so we need to get rid of it. Number 3 is fast fashion. I'm done supporting fast fashion. I have been for a while, but sometimes I would slip up and still go into ASOS and order something. It's unethical and it's a massive polluter of our earth. I've been feeling a lot of guilt lately that I want to wear nice clothing and I want to look good, feel good, but I don't want to spend money on clothing I know that might not be great quality. So I'm at the point that I would rather just not buy anything than contribute to the problem. I would like to have new clothing, or I would like to feel good. Which brings me to number 4, finding clothes that fit me. I know that a great option is to go thrifting. Secondhand clothing is something I've been doing for a few years, but my problem is it doesn't always fit me how I want it to. I'm quite short, but I have large chest, so the clothes are too big or too tight, or you find this perfect dress, which is of course one of a kind, and it doesn't fit you. Trousers is a no-go for me, thrift shopping. Secondhand clothing is definitely a great option, but not the only option for me in the long run. Number 5 for me is budget versus time. At the moment, I don't have a big budget, and the clothes that I love are quite expensive normally. I just love finding these brands that are like handmade in the studio with natural materials, natural dyes, but that's a lot of work and that means they're expensive, which is the whole problem we have here. Making clothes isn't cheap, but the way that it's done now in this fast fashion industry is not fair. So I don't mind spending the money. The problem is I just don't have the money yet. So I have a lot of time because I make my own hours. For the last few weeks I've been chilling on my sofa in the evening, knitting my little Sophie scarves. So I'm kind of taking the time I would normally do nothing and spending it on this new hobby, which also gives me a cute garment at the end of it, or a cute accessory. One of the last reasons I want to be able to make my own clothing is self-sufficient lifestyle. For as long as I can remember, I found it so interesting that there are people that make their own food, make their own clothing, fill the hours in their day to take care of themselves, their family, their home, and it's something that I feel a very strong connection to and a lifestyle I want to create for myself. So last year we had our first vegetable garden harvest, which was very exciting, and that's something that for years I didn't know if that could happen for me, and it did. So this is the motivation I need to now tell myself I can make my own clothes, make them so they can fit me, make them in the styles I like, try to be less dependent on a bigger industry that I don't really want to support anyway. So this series is all about decluttering, discovering easy sewing projects. I'm completely new to this. For the last couple of weeks, a friend of mine has been helping me with a few sewing projects, so I've kind of had a taste of it now. As someone who's new to this, I want to take you along with me on this journey and see what works, see what doesn't. I'm going to start off very easy, and then hopefully this can morph into bigger projects, and maybe next year I can do a video saying this is what I made in a year. I hope so. So if you're interested in all these topics, please follow along. I'm very excited about this. I hope it works out, and if it doesn't, I'm sure it will bring something useful. I'm also going to make a playlist on my channel of other creators that have inspired me, because they share great resources, they share tutorials, because I'm going to be learning myself, so I will probably not be the best person to follow a tutorial. Patterns, just any creator that I think is worth a watch. So if you're looking for resources, definitely, maybe I can put it on the screen somewhere. Look at that playlist. And maybe I can inspire you, and I'd love for you to follow me on this journey. Let's get started. So, the first step for me was to declutter what I already have. I took everything out of my wardrobe and decided one by one which garment would go back into my closet. I looked at the tags, and I am staying away from synthetic fibers and focusing more on keeping cotton, linen and wool. I also made sure to be very honest with myself about which clothing I really don't wear anymore. It could be I don't like the look or colour, or maybe it just fits me uncomfortably. So when I walk up to my wardrobe now, I don't have to filter through the things I don't like to wear and just focus on what I do want to wear. I also have a few garments that I want to get rid of or sell, but I want to make an alternative first. I'll be donating some clothes to our local thrift shop, and I'll be selling some clothes on Vinted. Just because I don't wear them anymore doesn't mean they can't be enjoyed by someone else. Alright, so it's time to make my first project. It turns out it's going to be a bag. I feel like a bag is a good way to start. I saw this on Tik Tok. I've always wanted a bag with a bow. Found this green material at the thrift store. I did not realise there was a forest and birds present. Not going to use that, but I quite like this green because I don't have a lot of colours in my closet. First I had to change the inches to centimetres because I don't know how to work with inches. And then I really awkwardly didn't have anything to measure my centimetres either, so if this looks awkward, it is, and I was not enjoying myself, but it worked kind of. I must say the tutorial was pretty easy to follow along. It was a lot of folding and a lot of cutting, and then ironing things flat, turning inside out. So I just paused the video and then did the step and then followed along. I had a few fights with the sewing machine because I'm not really great yet with using it, but we'll get there. But eventually I was really happy with how it turned out. It's definitely not perfect. I forgot to turn it the wrong side inside out, so I kind of messed that up a bit. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it actually. It feels good to just make something in a few hours. Yeah, as you can see, it's not great. That should be on the inside, but oh well.